It's time to take a look at the highest grossing films in cinemas. This is the box office countdown. On number 5, grossing $11.4 million last weekend, is the animated comedy Ferdinand.
People think they got you all figured out based on how you look. But it's not that simple. Especially when it comes to me. I'm a little more complex. Ferdinand's big. I'm not small. Ferdinand has a soft side, and so do I.
John is a special guy because he lives the message, and then he is Ferdinand. You know, like not only physically but emotionally, like he is that gentle giant. You know, and I think that was important to me, like somebody that would truly become the character and be the character.
On the 4th place with $15.5 million, we find the musical inspired by the imagination of P.T. Barnum, The Greatest Showman.
Girls, I think I've had an idea.
The movie is genuinely open-hearted, inspirational, and fun. And it will put a smile on your face. You will remember those songs. You won't be able to get them out of your head. The music is fantastic. And it's also got a great message about inclusion, about tolerance. And I think all those things make it a perfect family film for this time of year.
I think P.T. Barnum really was unique in that he really wanted to bring forward different people of all different race, shapes, sizes, of any stereotype, and rather than hide them as was typical in 1850, he gave these people the courage to feel free and to enjoy the spotlight and to really embrace who they are as individuals. And I think that that's an important message for today and for today's generation.
And on number 3, grossing $16.8 million last weekend, is the musical comedy Pitch Perfect 3.
Aww, you guys just sing other people's songs, like karaoke.
Karaoke? No.
That's so cute.
In the beginning, you see us living our life or trying to figure out which direction we go.
And we're all kind of in a rut of what we're supposed to be doing with our lives.
They find that even though there's a time in your life where you're sort of meant to move on, there's nothing wrong with going back to something that makes you happy. And for us in this movie, it's being together and it's singing. And whether or not we succeed or we fail, we're together. We're in it together, and that's what this whole journey is. It takes us around the world.
Yo, what's this?
A game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind. Jumanji. You pick a character, and you're that person in the game.
Which one do I pick?
I don't think it matters that much.
On the 2nd spot, bringing in another $50.3 million, is Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Jumanji is a game, a board game, and over the decades since the first adventure that you saw in 1995 with Robin Williams, the game has evolved, just sitting on the shelf collecting dust, but it's also a living organism, and it changes with the times.
This is a game that needs to be played, and the B-side to that is it knows it needs to be played. So much like with evolution, and much like with our world, much like with dinosaurs, right? Years and years and years later, it will always find a way to be played.
And this week's number 1, with $52.6 million, bringing its total to over $517 million, is Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
Whether the film takes off, Rey has learnt nothing that the audience hasn't seen, and I think what's great is because we're picking up with her story right where we left off, she's asking questions that the audience are asking, so any sort of emotional growth she's having, the audience is having too. She's asking questions that other people are wondering, and I think it's great because anything she's experiencing, the audience is seeing. They're right with her there.
This is the 2nd chapter after The Force Awakens, so Force Awakens created these amazing, vibrant new characters. It was the job of this movie then to pick them up and really kind of test their mettle, put them through their paces. So I tried to just kind of figure out, really get inside the head of each of the characters and figure out, okay, where did they go next? And that ended up leading to some really unexpected places. And then Luke Skywalker is the other big ingredient in this movie. I knew we had to figure out what's the deal with Luke.
I only know one truth. It's time for the Jedi.